In this video, we will create this mockup for website or whatever you want to show in a real product like a MacBook, for example. For this, you will need to have Blender. Also, you'll need to have Blender Kit. And of course, the image you want to put in the mockup. In my case, this is the home of the website. It was prepared in Figma. So let's start from the scratch. Create new one. So we have our initial cube. I will delete it. I will delete also the light. And after installation of the Blender Kit, you will see it right here, right? By default, this different materials. I need to find the objects, and what I'm gonna do, I will just simply type in MacBook. And this is actually why this is the tutorial for beginners, because right here you can just click and the new model will appear right here. So this is actually already the model which you can simply use for your mockups. Here you can also check that with this empty you can rotate the screen of this MacBook. And what I'm going to do next is we need to change the image, right? So I will move this part here so you'll see the image, right? And change it to the shader editor. Selecting our laptop screen, go into the materials, and right here you can see screen. And this is actually the image which we used for this MacBook. So I will remove it. By default it's empty. And now I will open, go into my folder with my images and select the image I want to put inside. And now we face an issue, right? So the image is put it, but it's incorrect, right? So we need to change the properties of the image. I will select the image texture and hit Ctrl+T. So for this one, you should have enabled the Not Wrangler. So if you do not, please go to the Preferences, Add-ons, and type in Wrangler. Here you should have the check mark turned on, Not Wrangler. So now I will just simply rotate the image with this texture mapping, right? So I believe here would be like -100 and then by Z something like 90. There we go. This is my image right here. What we can do also, you can see that the image is connected to the emission, right, with the strength of 2, and then to the surface. That means that it's basically a light, the source of light. And it works fine, but not always, to be honest. And if you want to the screen interact with the environment, right, you can do next. What you can do like 50 by 50 and add here Shift-A, search, and add principal BSDF. So, and then connect to color, to the base color. Additionally, to connect, basically what we're doing, we are connecting the emission and principal BSDF together. So I will add a mix shader, that right here, and add principal BSDF. Now, to show you how it works, I will probably go to the world, change to, I don't know, something like this dark purple, or maybe purple like this, and switch to the rendered mode. And now if I go back to the object and start to play with factor, you can see that if factor is 0, like this, it basically uses the emission mode. If I go to the 1 from 0, it will be the same as the background. Even if I add some kind of point with the light, let's say like this, even in this case, with one, you can see that it's interactive with the light. So it's closer to a paper, I would say, right? It's not like a screen. So if you're using 0.5, it will be like good alternative to use both, right? So you take best from the emission and best from the principal BSDF. But you can play as you want. One more hack, if you want this image to be like as it is, like it was exported from your editor, you can just simply remove both principal BSDF and emission and connect, by the way, make sure to connect color from the image texture right to the surface. In this case, this image will be like it was, right? Like you exported it. It will not be emission, it will not be anything. It will not affect anyhow with environment. I will go back to the previous version because I like it more. Now let's go back to the world, change it back. Let's say to something dark like this. Probably 555, 555. Yeah, the gray. Now, what we're gonna do next, right? And I will remove this one, go back to the material. We need to add a rock. And again, we will doing the tutorial for beginners, so I will just simply hit Shift A, go into the mesh, extras, and rock generator. Now this is a rock which we have. It's not look like a rock, but we can adjust it a little bit. What we can do, we can add a scale. I want it to be more flat, I would say, right? And by X and by Y, the rock is 1. I don't want to deform it too much, right? Let me check how it looks like. Maybe a little bit less. Like this, 5 and 5. But in the same time, I want to add more details, right? So I will go with 4 levels of details. So you see it's more detailed with more edges. So I'm fine with this. I will close this one, and now I will scale it, hit S, scale it down. It's a little bit add. Now maybe a little bit bigger in Z, so I will hit S again, hit X, so now the model will be scaled only by X axis. Or I can just simply hit S, then put Shift and Z, and in this case I exclude the Z axis from the scaling, like this. So now I want to move it right under the model. Put it right under the model, like this. Okay. Let's add a material, go into the materials in Blender kit and type rock. Here we have different rocks. I will probably go with this one. By the way, you can select if you want to go with procedural or texture-based materials, right? I don't like that this rock is too kind of bluish, right? So I will go in materials, and here, before the color, I would hit Shift A again and type in hue, right? And need to select hue and saturation value and put it before the color right here. Now I can decrease the hue to 0.2. You see, now rock is desaturated, right? If you want to remove the saturation, you can just simply put 0, right? But this is too much. I want to have a little bit more color. That's it for the rock. Now let's add the background. Like I want to create some kind of photo studio background, so I'll go with mesh, plane. This is my plane. What I'm gonna do next, and just to visualize for you guys how it works, I will add not material but modifier, and we will search for solidify. If I go to the solid, this is my plane, right? And I hit go to the edit mode with tab. I'm selecting the edges, and on the side I want to create smooth transition from horizontal to the vertical, right? Like in the photo studio. So I hit E and start to extrude like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I hit E, I hit Z, and now this will go through the Z axis. And I move it a little bit to the top like this. This is what we have. Additionally, I will select the face, this one at the bottom, and subdivide it one time. Now I want to add a subdivision modifier, so it will be more smooth like this. Probably 3, and shade out smooth. Now we have a model, we have a background, so we need to add a camera. Let's create a camera, Shift A, camera, and move it a little bit, go to by Z, and rotate it like this. Let's take a look what we see. Okay, so this is the old camera, right? I will remove it, and this is the new one. One more time, going to check the camera. Now, to be able to check what we have with the laptop itself, I'm going to select laptop, and this is the simple trick, right? I'm going to the Y like this, and now I'm going to select the camera and then go into the view and align view, align active camera to view. Simple but very useful trick. Let's decrease the size, it's too much a little bit, and move it back. What we have it like this. Let's a little bit increase the width for the background, hit S, X, and increase the size like this. Let's take a look what we have so far. We have only the laptop and everything else invisible because we do not have any light sources. Shift A, light, area, and we have simple area light, which I move right above the our object. Oh, I see what's happening. Sorry guys, I need to move the background a little bit bottom like this, so we will see our rock. Let's go back, view. This is what we have so far. I will switch from Ivy to the cycles. This is much better already. Now I don't want to render everything in the preview, so I hit Ctrl B and select what I see from camera. Now the part is rendered only what we see in the camera view. So what we're gonna do next, we will add a few more light sources just to highlight some parts, right? So if I go back to the view camera, you can see that these parts right here, right, and from the other side, they do not have any reflexes, right? So I will probably use the most often used scheme of light, and for this I will probably duplicate this source of light, move it a little bit, go to the settings and decrease the spread like this. For this one too, maybe something like 60. It's fine. For this one, Let's make it different. This one is 90, this one is 92, right? And as I said, pretty simple structure. This one would be from the behind, like this, and additionally one more from the other side, but a little bit more strong, like this. Let's take a look what we have. Now you see that's now the both from left and right, the edges are more visible, they have reflexes of the light, and even these parts are visible, right? So it's more playful, more live. I will probably, this one I will also move it a little bit down like this, decrease the size. Alright, and also decrease the power. Good. Let's add one more just for a background, like this. Let's take a look what we have. I'll probably decrease the power for the background. Let's take a look. There we go. What we can do, we can also move a little bit camera. So I select the camera, hit G to move camera, and then Z to move it by Z axis. So now the image will be right in the middle. And this is the basic setup, right? So we can already go to the render and render the image and take a look what we have. But this one is too static, I would say, right? So it's too simple. It could work, and it also could work for different cases. But what I'm gonna do, I will also add a few more cameras. So the first one, and I will just Control C, Control V, select the second camera, make it master one, right? So the enabled one, and I will go in this place and look. Again, go into View, Align View, and Align View Active Camera. I need to a little bit set it up like this, and then I'm going to the settings of the camera and change the focal length, right? So it will be like close, close, close view for the camera. Maybe a little bit like this. Let's give a little bit more space from the left side. Oh, sorry, from the right side. So it will breathe a little bit, right, like this. There we go. And this is the second one. If you see that there is not enough space, you can check it right here. You see the visible part, which is not the background. You can just simply select the background, hit S, hit X, and increase it. Right? So now everything is just the background. Then what we can do, we can also add one more camera from another side. I will also put it like the main one, the active. By the way, if the camera is obstructing you like this, you can just simply decrease the size. Also works. So yeah, the third one right here, maybe like this, something. So basically it works when you want to highlight some details, like view, align view, camera, and take it like this. Right. This is, oh, maybe even like this, right? So you're aligning on something in the content part. You want to highlight it. Maybe like this would be even better. View, align camera. Okay, and decrease a little bit. Okay, I think camera is too close. I will move it like this, and additionally like this. So let's take a look where we are. GZ, and like this. So this is what we can see. One more trick which you can use is to add depth of field, but if you just hit and apply the depth of field like this, you need to set up the object which you want to focus on. And if I select this cube, which is basically my my laptop, which I put it here, it will be like this. It will just take the center of this cube, basically of the screen, and it will be a main focus point. What I want to propose you guys is to use an empty as a focal point. So let me just decrease the size of this camera and this one. So you need to hit Shift A, go into empty and add a plane axis. Now I will move this plane axis to the place I want to be in focus. I'm going to the material preview to see the image, and let's say I want to highlight creative direction, right? I'm moving right to the position of the creative direction right here. I'm going to the empty and say creative. Now I'm going to the camera number 3, go into the preview mode, view camera right here, and move into the creative, right? And now what I need to do, I need to go into the camera and here focus on, select creative. Now focus always will follow the empty which we just added, and if you want to you can even animate it. So right now you can see the focus on D in the name Andrew, but now if I move it, the focus also will move. This is really cool and simple technique, right? Yeah, for example, you can move it to the creative director and just put it next to it right here, and this is how it looks in the rendered version. Additionally, one more trick, if you want to add like more action, be more interesting, you can just again select the MacBook which you have here. I will go with material for you to be more visible. Now I will just simply put it a little bit to the top like this, hit 2 times R and rotate it like this. Now it's not just simple image, but kinda levitation, right? Just be sure that you're fine with how your image looks like. And if I turn on the first camera, which is basically front view, like this, move it a little bit to the top, like this. I will maybe move it a little bit back because I don't like the wide angle. Let's go back to the view, like this, and go into the render mode. Now this is absolutely different result, right? Let's give it more tragic view, right? To do this, I will turn off the background light. I will also go to the Blender kit again, to the HDRIs, and type in something like, let's say, sunset. Okay, so maybe just sun. Yeah, let's take this one. So what we are doing, we are adding the HDRI map to this to this scene. Now you see that we have more light around us. Again, I don't want to have a lot of reflections, so I'm going to the world right here, and between the image, which is basically the image around us, the kind of desert, right, I will hit again Shift A and search for hue saturation and put it between the background output and the image itself. Decrease again the saturation, and you see this desert now is desaturated, almost black and white. Let's take a look at what we see in the camera view. This is what we see in the camera view. We can remove totally the top one, right? And I would leave right now, for now, I will leave the background. What we can do additionally, we can go to the background strength and decrease it down 0.4, like this. Yeah, should be darker, correct. Now what we can do, we can add one source of light, which will be like a direct laser almost, right? So we go into Shift A, go into the light and select area. But for this area, I'm going to the settings of the light and change the spreads to something like 2 or maybe 2.5. And you see that the edges of this light, they are almost sharp. So what I'm gonna achieve, right? I move it right here, and I'm in a Z. Let's go to the material, right? I will rotate it, and I will decrease the width, not like this, but by x-axis, like this. And what I'm gonna do, I will rotate it by y, and right here. So if I'm going back again to the rendered version, you can see that this light is going right to the our rock and the model, which is basically the MacBook. I move it a little bit like this. Let's maybe also rotate it by Z and move it like this. If you want to, you can increase the width so it goes even wider. And if you want to, you can also increase the spread so it will be not so hard. I will also decrease the power because I don't want it to be too much light, like this. And then I will also duplicate it, Shift D, and move it back so it will also go to the background. Let's take a look what we have in the camera view. Now what we see is flying mock-up of the MacBook Pro. Then we have the light which goes on the background, and then we have a light which goes right in our model. I will select the light which goes in the model, the first one, and maybe increase it a little bit because it's a little bit too subtle. What you can do additionally, you can also play with the color of this light. You can go with something like it is. So for example, if you want to like a warm color, if you want to add something like technology color, you can go to another side. It's up to you. This is up to you. I will go with simple white color. So this is F, like this, white. And this is actually it. This is how we can achieve simple mockup. Let's go to the rendering settings. So I will go with noise like 0.01. If you want to make it faster, just remove 10 and it will increase your speed of rendering a lot. Then the samples, I will decrease it down to like 200. This will be enough for me. Then we are going to the color management, change the look from none to something like high contrast. or maybe punchy. Yeah, punchy even better in this case. What I don't like in this one, I want to highlight more this edge right here, right, this part. It's almost invisible for me, so I'm going to change the angle of this light. I will put a little bit to the top and then like this, right, so it will be pointed right to the model. Let's take a look what we have. And maybe a little bit stronger. Yes, this is better. Maybe even like this. Yeah, cool, I'm happy with this one. Again, you can also can set up for this camera something inside here as a focus point if you want to. Going back to the settings, so I turned on a look to the punchy. Additionally, you can turn on curves and change it to make it a little bit more contrast like this. And play with exposure if you want to make it more dramatic or more light, depends on your needs, like this. Additionally, I have an extra if you want to do a close-up like this with a focal point called creative right here, where it was. Let me check, go to select it. Yeah, we rotated it, right? So I will move it to back to the creative. And now I will need to move the camera too, right? So I will go with this view probably and hit view, align view with action camera. So this is what we can see right now, right? But the problem is, if you want to achieve something like more realistic mockup, you need to add the look and feel that this is actual screen. And to do this, we need to go back to, in my case, this is a Figma file, right? And what I've done, I've simply added above the image a texture. The texture looks like this, so I just simply go into the Google, right, type in the pixel screen texture. This is what I found. I downloaded, copied, and put it inside of the Figma. So if I move this one right here, and turn off tile, make it fill and visible by 100%. This is how it looks like, right? And maybe I need to change the view to the normal. Yeah, there we go. This is how it looked like by default. So what I've done, I just selected the frame, applied to it image, and change from the fill to the tile. So now this is like a pattern. The pattern will fill the whole image which you are applying to, the whole rectangle. And then you can select the size. I go with 8%, but you can make it bigger. How it works? It actually goes above the image with different settings of the view. So in this case, I go with the color burn, but you also can go with different versions. You see, they have different style to apply. And one more trick, if you want to achieve even more, like you see, there is kind of distortion, small one. You can just simply, I will remove these two groups, just to show you one more time. So this is default one. I'm copying by basically duplicated it, like Control D, right? So this is the same. And what I'm doing to this group, I'm applying the difference. So now everything is inverted. What I'm doing now, I'm hitting the arrows top and left or top and right to move it for 1 pixel to the top and 1 pixel to the right in this case. Then I'm duplicating this group one more time. So basically it's the same level, the same overlay difference, but now I moved it back. So I'm going to down and to the left. This is how I'm achieving this effect, like small, smooth layering. Now please export it. I recommend to export with X2 because then it's better to render in Blender. Going back to the Blender, and now I'm selecting again my laptop, going to the object. This is my image from the previous one, and now I want to change it to the pixels one. There we go. You see, now we have more colors: green, red, something like yellow, and additionally we can see a pixel grid. So this is how you can achieve even more realistic mockup. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more useful content.
The Visual Vibe.